So I'm wondering if the shareholders will get behind a concept like that, if they will be as aggressive in the bull boards and in the chat rooms as they were on social media when they were voting for a president. Because there's something that you can do at the ballot box, and voting is very important. Sometimes one vote can make a difference, but it's a coalition of votes. But a coalition of shareholders can make a difference too, because they can bind together and they can talk and they can move the needle on what interests them. And I'm interested to see how they react to this novel concept in the defense space where the public markets meet.
Yeah, well, I saw the repurposing of the existing company from its current line of business into defense in one article reported as being shocking. I think it's shockingly good because the aim is so valiant, in my view, to deliver shareholder value and deliver security. And it poses another question, Mike, a good point you make. Why Canada? Why are we establishing this in Canada? Canada is not bogged down with the years of regulatory burden, inertia. It has a real drive, and Canadians want to invest in Canada. And we'll be investing globally, but we will have a big component within there, which is Canadian. And you've got a highly educated populace, you've got a highly liquid populace, you've got a populace that wants to see Canada become a world force and be able to defend itself. And I can think of no better place to be than Canada because it is not bogged down with history. If you go to Europe, we still go back to pieces of parchment which explain how we should be conducting ourselves in war. It's not relevant anymore. War has changed. The world has moved on. The Ukraine has shown us that we need a $3,000 drone with a hand grenade on it to take out a $28 million tank. Now, we can be in that market, so how can we make as many drones as a deterrent as Russia and China are turning out? I know we'll invest in the infrastructure. The same is true of every commodity within the supply lane, right the way down to the chips we're using. Where do they come from? A lot of those come out of China. Do we want that to be the ongoing model? I don't think so.
No, that's very well said. You've got a system in Canada where you've got a smart populace and you've got investors that are willing to take risks, because you hear the metaphors about, oh, this is the new gold rush, the green rush, or whatever the new talk of the moment is. And that's literally what Canadian investors are good at. They're good at investing in natural resources. They're good at identifying potential ways to leverage their God-given rights to their natural wealth and put that into value. And that's really, the cornerstone of a nation, and quite frankly, what our enemies are interested in. There's ideologies that our potential enemies can hide behind, but at the end of the day, it's about theft. It's about stealing resources, it's about stealing intellectual property, and they're certainly willing to steal our ideas on capitalism, on how to move the needle forward. What we need to do is maybe better market our ideas. And part of the idea of America, part of the idea of Canada and everything that the United Kingdom, birthed with its expansion is this idea of justice. I mean, that's what the Magna Carta was about. A handshake between the rulers and the ruled, so to speak, at least on the level of the elite ruling class. And also what we inherited here in America from that vision in the United Kingdom of justice. And justice is often thrown around with adjectives. There's social justice, there's economic justice, and that's been sort of the talk of the town. But in actuality, there's just justice. There's what is right, and there's what is fair, and there's what is equitable.